Hi, welcome. I'm Jay. This is Wendy. Wendy is looking for notes and feedback on male characters in audiobooks as a female narrator. How do you handle them, and are they working out? As you notes, tips, we got your back. And then just general performance notes. If you'd like me to provide feedback on your audio just like this, there's a form in the description. Send me something. And if, like Wendy here, you want to become a booth buddy and jump the queue, get fast feedback and priority access to stuff like this, you can check that out down below. Never necessary, but you jump the waiting list and supports these efforts. Thanks for being here, everybody. And for, clicking the buttons if you want to click the button. Wendy, save me.
I rolled my chair forward and reached across the empty space between us, offering him my pinky. I promised to be an open book from this point on. He regarded my peace offering with confusion. What are you doing? I'm making a pinky promise, our most solemn and sacred Fey vow. I wiggled the finger. Don't leave me hanging here. He rolled his eyes, but I could see the edges of his mouth fighting a smile. He leaned forward, closing the distance between us, and hooked his pinky around mine. A jolt of energy, unlike any kind of magic I had felt before, ran up my arm at his touch, and I hid the shiver it sent down my spine with an overly bright smile. There, the vow has been made. Dish pulled his finger away, and I mourned the loss of contact. Is this the part where you tell me that Fey vows actually are binding and you can't break them without physically harming yourself? Aw, you've been doing research.
Okay. Fun. Love it. Okay, great work, Wendy, overall to start, for sure. So the general spiel with characters that are not the gender of your vocal presentation, i.e., if you have a lower registered voice like mine and you're performing a feminine presenting character, how do you do that? Or vice versa, if you're a female presenting vocal narrator, how do you perform male characters? And you're doing a great job here overall with that, and things that I really appreciate that you're doing. It can be tempting for narrators to think, like for myself, if I'm going to narrate a female character, now they have to have a higher voice, have a completely different affect, and just a bunch of different sort of what you might call like stereotypical vocal qualities, which you just don't need. And what I appreciate you doing here is you are hinting at that by dropping your register a little bit. But the big thing with characters of any kind, whether you're shifting their gender identity, racial identity, their, any sort of identity that a character is tied to, you want to, most of the articulation can take place in an energy shift in a lot of respects. What does that mean? Well, if we look at a bunch of different characters and we approach them in different ways, we don't have to do really dramatic vocal changes necessarily. The way that I like to approach this, and some of you may have seen me talk about this here before, but what I love to imagine is a set of sliders. And if you've seen like audio boards, the faders that go up and down, you can do knobs if that's more helpful for you. But imagining them on some sort of spectrum, ones that I usually start with are like airy characters that have an airy vocal quality versus grounded, earthy characters that have an earthy, grounded vocal quality, or characters that talk really fast versus characters that talk really slowly. And rather than just saying male, female, you can say, oh, this character, maybe let's try them as an airy, smooth moving, an airy character. And maybe they're an airy character that talks pretty quickly. And then this gives them other qualities as well. But if they're an airy character that talks quite slowly, all of a sudden you have another texture to play with. And this can help both with differentiating characters in general in your book, but also just with acknowledging demographic differences in certain ways. And you don't have to run along lines, because you could perform, or I could perform, a female character without shifting my vocal register very much, but just suggesting an energy shift. So if character A is to use those sliders, we go with earthy, and they talk deliberately. So they have sort of punctuated phrases, and they talk somewhat slowly. This is this character's voice, and this is character A. And then if we give character B, maybe they're a fast talking character and they have a little bit of a nasally register, maybe. So nasally versus open. This is their voice and they talk a bit faster. Slow, earthy, deliberate. Nasally fast and talking like this. That can be enough to differentiate the characters. And if these two characters have a conversation together and they go back and forth like this, they're pulled apart and they're audibly distinct. And we can let the listener's imagination do the rest of the legwork. So rather than boxing ourselves in and saying, okay, we're just going to do a male-female dial, we can lean on those aspects of personality. So with these two characters, we've got this sort of tricksy, mischievous, Fae character, and then we've got sort of a skeptical, intelligent, somewhat guarded male character based on the listening of this. And the female character, the Fae in this scene, I think you're doing a really smart thing keeping it close to your natural voice. And similarly, the other character is a little bit slower, a little bit more deliberate, a little bit more guarded in those ways. And by using the sliders in tangible ways, so airy, earthy, fast, slow, textured, smooth, whatever you want. But those are the things to focus on rather than demographics of the character and basing them off of personality traits rather than, breakdowns like that. So that's what I would say with respect to the character voices. And that's kind of how I approach everything. Another thing that can be fun is casting them as like animals in a way or things like that. Those are just more tools, but you can cast them as different actors in movies and just sort of typecast them that way, cast them as animals, whatever it is. Enough about that. Let's talk about your performance in general now. Overall, I really like it. There are certain things that I think we can just dial up or improve on or invest more in that will be really, really fun to play with. One in particular, I think it's this
A
moment.
jolt of energy,
Yeah.
unlike any kind of magic I had felt before, ran up my arm at his touch, and I hid the shiver it sent down my spine with an overly bright smile.
So very clear, very well presented, but the emotional content behind it and the experience of those things, I'm somewhat missing in my listening to your performance there. So what I might encourage or what I would love to hear more of is, you can even go into the physicality, like a magic went up my arm. What is this? I've never felt this before. A magic went up my arm. And what does that feel like? Is it a terrifying sensation? Is it exhilarating? Do you love it? Do you connect it immediately with the person? As this Fae character, are you linking pinkies and watching and then this thing just starts happening? What the heck is going on? Experiencing that more in the moment can be really, really exciting as a listener to witness you go through. And then the recovery, so you've got this thing, lock pinkies, boom, magic goes up your, what is happening? And then the hiding of it, like, this isn't right. I hit it, and sort of a recovery. So we have an opportunity in this phrase to watch you come undone a little bit and then recover. And overall, that's just an example of that sort of experiencing that I would love to hear more of in your narration overall. But like the characters' emotional tax, because clearly you've got great performance chops here with like this.
Aw, you've been doing research.
Loved that delivery. It's wonderful. Tells us so much about who this character is and their relationship to who this person is, whatever this person that they're entering into this contract with. But in terms of the narrative moments, I would love to hear more of like just the interior life of things.
I rolled my chair forward and reached across the empty space between us, offering him my pinky.
So like with that as an example, what does it mean? Like, is this a challenge to the person? And then I offer him my pinky. Is it sort of with the wink? Because you're kind of edging into a wink, I think, but offering him my pinky. Is it like, is this even a thing where like, is this pinky promise a grave event? I wheel across, offering him my pinky. Or is it, I wheel across, offering him my pinky, where we're like, okay, this guy's such a noob when it comes to this world. I can offer him a pinky, like pinky promise, get out of town, guy. Whatever the right answer is for this book, you can fill it with so much life within that, which can be just really exciting. So that sort of thing would be my biggest note for you in that respect. Yeah, but overall, love it. Love this stuff. As always, please let us know what this book is in the comments below, because some folks might want to check it out. But Wendy, thanks for sending this in. I hope this was helpful for you, for everybody else. I hope it was helpful for you too. And until the next one of these, be well, everybody, and I'll see you there. Toodles.